Should you stay or should you go? Are you considering making a major move, perhaps relocating from one city to another or one town to another? If you are, today's reading is for you. We're going to look at three facets of contemplating a major home move. And we're talking basically relocating. It's something I've been thinking about for over a year because there's sometimes in your life, even if you're happy in a particular place, for a variety of reasons, a variety of situations happening in your life, energies, you may feel it's in your best interest to make a move. So that's what we're going to look at today. Three cards, three insights from spirit. We'll focus on the energy of staying where you are, staying put. What will that bring if you decide to do that? Secondly, the energy of moving. What does that offer you? And then finally, some overall high guidance from spirit. I'm Laura with Heart Driven Tarot, where you receive intuitive insights from the tarot to your burning questions. And the relevant songs to moving or making a major change, I feel, or what I recommend today are A New Day by Céline Dion. I love her voice and her music. And also an old song by Billy Joel, Moving Out. It's kind of a humorous song, but they both relate to the concept and the idea of moving, of making a change. So let's lower the camera and see what three perspectives we can offer you on this decision to possibly move. Energy of staying, King of Cups, energy of moving, Four of Swords, and then the highest guidance, Queen of Swords. All right. So the energy of staying. The King of Cups is the master of emotions, of feelings. He is the cool, calm, and collected, to use that old cliche, individual who, despite storms, and this suggests that there may be stormy times if you decide to stay where you are. But because you are acclimated there, you can handle it. And let me see what else comes to mind. It does suggest, though, that you will need to tap into that feeling of the King of Swords ability to master his feelings and emotions, because if you stay, there may be a lot of things around you that could be shifting and changing, and that you will have to wrestle with, and you'll have to tap into your intuitive insights. Cups relate to intuition, water energy, to be able to best handle them. So this is suggesting to me that yes, you can stay where you are and things will be fine because you have that ability to weather the storms. It does suggest to me that there may be storms. They could be literal or they could just be storms in your life. And this is what spirit is suggesting, is that you can stay and you do have the ability because you're familiar with the area, you've established relationships, and there may be storms in the background that you will just have to handle. Let me see if there's anything else. What also is coming to mind is that there will always be momentum and shifts and changes even where you stay. So the best way to navigate them is to tap into that inner calm that the King of Cups embodies. He is the Atticus Finch figure from To Kill a Mockingbird. He has mastered the art of staying strong and of staying calm in the midst of turmoil. So it does suggest to me that you can stay where you are, but there may be some storms to weather. Then the next card relates to the energy of moving. Now, this is interesting because I usually think, especially when I'm contemplating a move, there's so much stress because of just packing up, filling those boxes, of the logistics, hiring moving companies or getting people to help, getting help, just the whole logistical challenge of making a move. However, the energy of moving as suggested by the Four of Swords, and the swords relate to your thinking, beliefs, etc., the mind. This is a situation in which the individual is resting and recovering. And so, interestingly enough, even though moving requires it and is a very stressful situation because, as I said, the logistics and just the physical mechanics of doing it, is that this could bring you some peace. Maybe there's something that you need in the new area that you're contemplating, or areas, that it will bring you peace, and that it will bring you a connection with your self, higher self, your spiritual connection. That's what's coming to me intuitively, is that it will be something that will bring peace to your spirit. And the fours are structures, so perhaps that structure will be beneficial to you, because as we see, this individual is resting. It's a chapel. It also can look like it can also be associated with the crypt, or the where, because this almost could look like this sometimes is interpreted as coffin. But what's coming to me is that this decision, the energy of it, because we're looking at the energy, will bring you peace. It'll bring you rest, ultimately. It'll bring you a spiritual connection. And then finally, the higher guidance, overall higher guidance from spirit about this contemplating this move, is that what's coming to me is that you need to be very clear, as the queen is. She's an authoritative figure. She cuts to the chase about any situation, is to be very clear about what's most important to you. Why are you contemplating this move? What is it with motivated by family dynamics, by personal need, a spiritual need, or an emotional need, or there's a change in a relationship. But get very clear and focused on what is driving this this decision. What is, or why you are contemplating, what's driving your contemplation of this move. That is what's key here. And it underlies every facet of your decision, what you have to think about in terms of choosing where exactly you're going to live, what your budget is, who you'll be near, access to the resources that you need, access to whatever, your lifestyle, especially. Spirit is saying you've got to be super clear on that. And I know this is what's been driving my thoughts, etc. And I've had to get super clear in making a move. And I've been trying out, I've been looking at different areas, I will say. And certain things have become crystal clear. Okay, this does not fit who I am, or the type of lifestyle I like to live, enjoy living. So get super clear. That's what the swords are about: communications, about what drives you, what's important to you, especially from your mindset. Get clear about that. So let me see if anything else comes to mind here. But it's interesting is that the energy of staying is, you can master it, you can handle things, but perhaps, you're going to have to weather some storms and stay grounded from your own heart. And that the energy of moving could bring a positive change. It might ultimately, after you get through the logistics, will give you some peace of mind, something that will animate your spirit, will be good for your spirit. And finally, the overall guidance from spirit in making this decision is to be super clear on what is driving this contemplation, what's behind it, and also what is most important to you in making this decision, in considering a move, and thinking through every aspect of the move and what it would mean for your lifestyle, your relationships, your feelings, overall, your entire life. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And do remember that I offer private tarot readings, and you can get information on those by emailing me at laura@heartdriventarot.com. Until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with heart-driven tarot.